New life is springing up throughout the 17,000 acres of woodlands that burned in last year's Pinelands wildfire. According to scientists, that's the nature of the Pine Barrens, an ecosystem that depends on forest fires. Science and technology correspondent Patrick Regan reports.
The wildfire of May 2007 whipped across more than 25 square miles of forest before firefighters and timely rain stopped it. A year later, tracks of the fire show clearly where it sped through and where it burned hot. Yet the charred branches and blackened pine cones are surrounded by fresh growth in bright shades of green. Almost everywhere you look, you see the proof that what would kill many other kinds of plants renews and regenerates the natives of this ecosystem.
The dominant plant out here is the pitch pine, Pinus rigida. It's what we call a keystone species.
The cones are sealed with a resin that will not release unless it's exposed to high temperatures.
The fire released up to 300 pine seeds per square meter. Drexel University researchers Walt Bien and Amy Hillman estimate. While most seeds fed wildlife, a few took hold in the sandy soil. But these pines have other ways to start over after a fire.
The heat from the fire doesn't penetrate very far down into the ground. So the root structure really stays intact, and often the trees sprout from that.
There's enough carbohydrate stores in the rootstock to generate a lot of new plant growth.
All of this growth up to here, all of the stem material that looks brown, that's last year just since the fire. All of this greenery, all of these shoots, and these two cones are all just this year.
From lichens that crust over and stabilize the sandy soil to the scrub and blackjack oaks that thrive here, most species found in what Bien calls the East Pine Plains not only tolerate but benefit from fire. There's staggerbush, a relative of blueberries and cranberries, the hardy ground cover of Hudsonia or golden heather, and the broom crowberry.
It's a fire-dependent species in that it needs open spaces to become established. After it becomes established, there's not enough fuel load when the next fire comes through, so it acts as a refuge or a haven.
For animals such as the pine snake, fire can keep conditions good and predators scarce.
Some species of animals and plants are winners and losers in fires, but for the most part, they're well adapted to forest fires.
Patrick Regan, NJN News, Stafford Township.